Well, good evening, everyone. It is Mr. Sunshine, Locksmith Eddy, coming to you live right here, right now. And what you're looking at right here is the pieces of a Curtis model number 15 key machine. I actually just got this in this afternoon. I figured I'd go ahead, strip it all down, degrease it, polish it, clean it, and this is what we have right now. So we have it all apart. We just got done cleaning it up. You can see this is all cleaned up right down to the bare metal. Kathy Gray, good evening. How are you? As you can see, there it is right there. Here's the stamp here, Curtis Industries. There's a model number 15 with the serial number 121371 and 121371 stamped on the body and on the tag. So we went ahead, took it all apart. We stripped it down of all the paint, and it really looked pretty bad. And this is what the end result is of what we have right now. So what we're going to do, this is the carriage here, the slider. And what we'll do is we're going to go ahead and begin to put this thing back together, just like this. This actually slides in there like that. And then we go ahead, push this in as such. And there you go. We have this together. So we're going to, after we're done, we'll grease it all up. And it's working nice and tight. This is a nice tight sit-up right here. So we got that done. So we'll go ahead and continue putting this all together. And then we will show you the finished product once it is done here in Mr. Sunshine Locksmith Eddy. This is actually the stopper. This is the stopper for the carriage. When you go from cut to cut on there, this actually sits right there like that. We'll go ahead and put the little screw that belongs in there, which is this one right here. So we'll go ahead and put this all together as such. We have our little screwdriver here. Where the hell I put the screwdriver? Right here. This will actually just tighten down as such. There you go. We have that together. And then we go ahead and we can slide this right back down on the carriage. This actually slides up and down. Okay. But before we put this on, we're going to put the anvil and the punch back in there. And to do that, we're going to put, this is the anvil here. This is the this is for the F3. This will fit a Ford F3 Ford double-sided cuts right here. So this is the angled anvil for that particular key. So we have, you can interchange these with different anvils and different punches so that you can punch out various keys. Ford, GM, Chrysler, Mazda, everything. They actually, Curtis makes the cams and the carriages to do everything on these, to cut them by hand. This is actually a handheld key machine. I actually rebuild them, and here's actually the cam right here. This is the cam. This is a Mazda 5. This is a 10 cut here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And there it is. It's 10 cuts, 5 depths, and that fits further up here after we get this together. All right, so we have the anvil in there. We're going to go ahead. We're going to slide this in. We're going to make sure that everything, just like that, you can see how nice and smooth that slides in there. So we're going to go ahead and we will put the spring. This is the spring that fits in here. This punch slides right into there like that. We're then going to go ahead and put our pin in there. There's a pin that goes into this hole right here, and that's what holds the spring and the punch in line when you're cutting the key. So this punch going to fit in there just like this. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to just tap that down in there as such. Make sure it's straight. And once we go ahead, tap that in there a little bit more. As such, a little bit more. There it is. It rides right in that groove right there as it's sitting there, just like that. And then we'll go ahead and we're going to tap that down there a little bit farther so we don't have a little issue later on down the road. There we go. All right, so that's in just like that. Nice and tight. We then go ahead and we're going to put our other handle in here. The handle sits in. Actually going to go on this side. The screw here. There it is. Going to put that in there like that. That screws in as such. And take a look at that. All right, so now it's taking shape. As a matter of fact, I make sure when I do these, when they're worn out, there's play in this. All right, it'll be bouncing around in there. What we do is we stretch the spring to bring it back, and then we may even put a washer in there to keep that nice and tight, because I don't like to have that any kind of play in there. And this one, you can see how it goes right into the punch as such. It's a perfect cut right there. So we got that situated in a perfect position. Now, by pulling on this, takes it in there, we can go ahead and tighten the anvil. Since the anvil's in there, it's perfectly in line to match, so we don't have an issue of it binding up on there when you're cutting a key. Just like that. See, there we go. All right, and then the carriage as such slides up on top of here like that. And there it is. We're getting it back together rather quickly. This actually is the fingers. These fingers actually set on here like that. And then we'll put the screws in. And then this actually fits on the front as such with the nut on here. And then the cam will go in. We'll go ahead and put the saddle back on. The spring is bent. You see that it's bent. We're actually going to straighten that out so that our saddle springs up at the proper dimensions. And then we'll go ahead and slide our rubber triggers back on there, and boom, we'll be done. So there it is, Mr. Sunshine, Locksmith Eddy, with yet another model number 15 Curtis handheld key clipper. If you have any of these or you want looking to buy one, I have several of them, probably around 25 or 30 at this particular point in time. We also have plenty of parts for these. If you need to replace something or repair something, we actually have those too. So there it is, Mr. Sunshine, Locksmith Eddy, coming to you live here in sunny South Florida. Thank you for watching.